Most fly fishermen waste their time and overlook these 5 critical steps that should be used every time you go out fly fishing. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact system that I've learned over the past 10 plus years I've been competitive fly fishing that consistently catches me fish. Alright, let's get into it. Let's start with tip number 1. Presentation beats perfection. When I started out fly fishing, I thought the fly is the most important part when it comes to catching more fish, but it really isn't. Over the years, I started to discover that your presentation is the most important tool to have in your toolbox when you go out fly fishing. You can have the most perfect fly, you can have the most perfect rod, reel, waders, but when it comes down to it, your presentation is everything. But besides practicing your presentation, either if you're nymphing, either if you're using a dry fly, using a streamer, etc., other things that you want to pay attention to is simple things that before you even get into the water. Number 1, you want to observe your area that you're trying to fly fish in, but also too, you want to get in there as slow and low as profile as possible to prevent scaring fish. Even though these tips are so little, these are the things that make a good fly fisherman become into a great fly fisherman. So besides perfecting your drift or your presentation, let's get into fish fast and think slow. So when I'm in a competition and I'm fly fishing a section of water or my beat, every cast counts. It means that there's one more chance of catching one more fish. But besides that also, you don't want to rush too much either, because if you rush, you're going to make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, that means you lose fish. So the secret ingredient here is to find that balance between going slow and methodically and going fast and rushing through that water. But also too, what I'm thinking about when I'm on the water is not leaving one piece of water untouched. You want to pick that spot, fish it, know that you've made good drifts in that water, and then proceed to the next spot. Pick out A, B, and C water and figure out, okay, this is the best water, okay, this is not so great, and or I found some fish rising above me, I might just rush up there and maybe that'll catch me a few more fish. So the thing here is that you want to make sure that you go into that body of water and you want to make sure that you fish every single piece of structure, riffles, pools, anything. You don't want to leave anything untouched. But also too, you don't want to make sure that you're staying in one hole that you think, oh, I'm confident that I'm going to catch a fish in here. If the fish aren't biting, just move on or even change up your technique. And I promise you, if you find that balance between both of these, I guarantee you, you're going to catch a lot more fish and a lot quicker. All right, third tip coming up. This is a really important one. Learn your leader like language. Now this kind of corresponds with presenting your fly to the fish, that it is really important that you get that nailed down. But also too, you need to know how to use the tool. The main tool is your leader. This is going to help present those flies to those fish. And your leader should be your best friend. Don't make it an enemy. Now I have experimented a lot with leaders over these 10 plus years competitive fly fishing, but also too, I have figured out to simplify everything as much as possible. Now, when I'm experimenting with leaders, of course, I'm experimenting with them. I probably fish with them for like about, I don't know, 2 hours, and I'll probably figure out either that's my taste or not. But you definitely don't want to be experimenting with leaders or changing it up last minute, either if in a competition, because of course, you have that chance of just not being comfortable with that leader. You don't know how to present or fish that leader properly, and that'll cost you fish. So what I like to do is to experiment before, and then when I'm confident with it, then I will continue fishing with it, perfect it, and then I'll be ready for a competition. But before I go, I want to throw up my quick go-to leader when I'm nymph fishing or Euro nymphing, and this leader I've been using for like about 5 to 7 years now, and this is a micro leader. I like to use this leader either I am in heavy current or it's a muddy day. I still like to use it. It's really sensitive. It's just a level leader, and or I like to use it on a clear sunny day when that water is really shallow. All around, this leader is really great when you go out nymph fishing or Euro nymphing. Now let's get into tip number 4. Confident flies catch fish. Now, what are confident flies? Now, I fished with thousands of flies, all different type of patterns over these past years. Now I've come down to 25 fly patterns average that I know that will catch fish in the area that I'm in. But today I'm going to be showing you the top 3 confident flies that I use on a normal day-to-day basis. First one coming up is an attractor pattern / junk fly, and that is the mop fly. Now this fly works really great either if you have high water or normal water tables, but in shallow water it might scare off a couple fish, but all around this fly is really great. Now the next fly coming up is the Perdigon fly or pellet fly. Now this fly works just all around. If you have blown out water or you have shallow water, it just works really well and it cuts through that water really quick and gets to those fish. Now this nymph is awesome for both wild browns all the way to stocked rainbows. It just all around works well with any type of fish, which is really cool. Alright, the next fly coming up is a dry fly. It's called a Puff Daddy. I love to use this fly consistently when there is hatches going on. I use it for my dry dropper leader, or I just use it as a dry fly. Now the next time you go on the stream, of course experiment with new flies, but go with the ones that you know that can catch fish, and I guarantee you'll catch more fish that way. Alright, so here is the last tip. Tip number 5. Control what you can. Now as fly fishermen, or especially competitive fly fishermen, we try to control what we can most of the time. Now as a competitive fly fisherman, I like to control everything that I can as much as possible. Either if I'm setting up my vest, my net setup, my rig, my rod, my waders, everything. I try to make everything as simplified as possible to catch fish as quick as possible. Now Mother Nature has its own course of making things just a little bit more challenging. Either if it's a hot sunny day, or either if it's a winter day, shallow water, blown out water, all these things do matter. And the thing is that we try to maximize our possibilities as fly fishermen as much as possible to catch more fish, but in reality, it'll just come down to what the fish want. And it'll come down to also to fish quantity, how many fish are in that stream, but at the end of the day, the fish will tell us either if they're hungry or not. Now, from these past 10 years I've been competitive fly fishing, I've been on the U.S. Youth Fly Fishing Team, I've been to national fly fishing leagues. With all these events that I've experienced, these are the top 5 tips that I've learned that hopefully will help you catch more fish.